Hackers exploit default credentials in foundation software to breach construction firms. Cybercriminals have been targeting the construction industry by exploiting vulnerabilities in the foundation accounting software. The attackers are using brute force techniques to gain access to the software by using the default credentials, which are often left unchanged. The foundation software uses a Microsoft SQL MS SQL server as its database, and in some cases, the TCP port 4243 is left open to directly access the database via a mobile app. The MS SQL server includes two high-privileged accounts, SA, System Administrator, and DBA, an account created by Foundation, that often have default credentials that are not changed. Threat actors can leverage the XP_ shell configuration option in the MS SQL server to run arbitrary shell commands, effectively giving them access to the system. Huntress, a cybersecurity company, has detected around 35,000 brute force login attempts against an MS SQL server on one host, and they have identified 33 out of 500 hosts running the foundation software to be publicly accessible with default credentials. To mitigate the risk, the article recommends rotating the default account credentials, avoiding exposing the application over the public internet, if possible, disabling the XP_ shell option in the MS SQL server. New Brazilian-linked Sambaspy malware targets Italian users via phishing emails. New Brazilian-linked Sambaspy malware targets Italian users via phishing emails. A newly documented malware called Sambaspy is targeting Italian users through a phishing campaign, believed to be orchestrated by Brazilian Portuguese-speaking threat actors. According to Kaspersky's analysis, the attackers are focusing on one country, possibly as a test before expanding their operations. Phishing attack. The attack starts with a phishing email containing either an HTML attachment or an embedded link. Opening the HTML attachment triggers a zip archive with an interim downloader or dropper, which deploys a multifunctional rat payload. Infection chains. HTML attachment. The HTML file downloads a zip archive that includes a downloader, which fetches the malware from a remote server. Malicious link. Clicking the link redirects users to a legitimate invoice if they are not the intended target. If they are, it redirects them to a malicious web server hosting an HTML page with JavaScript code in Brazilian Portuguese. Targeting mechanism. Users are redirected to a OneDrive URL only if they are using Edge, Firefox, or Chrome with the language set to Italian. The malicious OneDrive URL leads to a PDF document with instructions to download a jar file from Mediafire containing the malware. Sambaspy capabilities. Sambaspy is a fully featured remote access Trojan, RAT, developed in Java. It can handle file and process management, remote desktop management, file upload/download, webcam control, keylogging, clipboard tracking, screenshot capture, and remote shell. It can also load additional plugins at runtime and steal credentials from browsers like Chrome, Edge, Opera, Brave, Iridium, and Vivaldi. Expansion plans. Infrastructure evidence suggests the threat actor is also targeting Brazil and Spain, indicating an expansion of their operations. Language artifacts in the code and domains targeting Brazilian users align with the trend of Latin American attackers targeting European countries with closely related languages. The sophisticated phishing scams targeting Latin American users underscore the need for enhanced cybersecurity measures. These Trojans are becoming more adept at evading detection and stealing sensitive information, highlighting the increasing boldness of cybercriminals. New TeamTNT cryptojacking campaign targets CentOS servers with rootkit. The cryptojacking group known as TeamTNT has likely resurfaced in a new campaign targeting virtual private server VPS, infrastructures based on the CentOS operating system. The initial access is achieved through a brute force attack on the victim's SSH service, allowing the threat actors to upload a malicious script. The malicious script is responsible for disabling security features like SLinux, AppArmor, and the firewall, deleting logs, terminating competing cryptocurrency mining processes, inhibiting recovery efforts, The script then deploys the diamorphine rootkit to conceal malicious processes and establish persistent remote access to the compromised host. The campaign has been attributed to TeamTNT with moderate confidence, based on similarities in the tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs, observed. The script also checks for previous infection by other cryptojacking operations, disables a daemon related to the Alibaba cloud provider, kills all competing cryptocurrency mining processes, removes traces left by other miners, terminates containerized processes and removes images deployed in connection with coin miners. The script establishes persistence by configuring cron jobs to download the script every 30 minutes from a remote server, modifying the /root/.ssh/authorized_keys file to add a backdoor account. The threat actor takes extensive measures to lock down the system, modify file attributes, create a backdoor user with root access, and erase command history to hide its activities. Microsoft warns of new Inc. ransomware targeting U.S. healthcare sector. Microsoft has discovered a new ransomware strain called Inc. being used by a financially motivated threat actor to target the U.S. healthcare sector. The threat actor, tracked as Vanilla Tempest, formerly DEV0832, receives initial access from GootLoader infections deployed by another group called Storm 0494. Vanilla Tempest's attack chain includes deploying tools like the Super Backdoor, using the legitimate AnyDesk remote monitoring and management tool, utilizing the Mega Data Synchronization tool. The attackers perform lateral movement through Remote Desktop Protocol, RDP, and use Windows Management Instrumentation, WMI, provider host to deploy the Inc. ransomware. Vanilla Tempest has been active since at least July 2022, previously targeting education, healthcare, IT, and manufacturing sectors using various ransomware families including Black Hat, Quantum Locker, Zeppelin, and Resida. The threat actor is also known as Vice Society, which is known for using existing ransomware strains rather than developing their own. Other ransomware groups like Bienlian and Resida have been observed using Azure Storage Explorer and AZCopy to exfiltrate sensitive data, repurposing these legitimate tools for large-scale data transfers to cloud storage.